Welcome to Midnight Tales. Tonight we travel to the deep south, to an estate draped in Spanish moss and shadow, a place of beauty and of blood, where whispers of betrayal, murder, and restless spirits have earned it the title one of the most haunted homes in America. This is the Myrtles Plantation. The Myrtles Plantation stands in St. Francisville, Louisiana, a town just over an hour's drive from Baton Rouge. For centuries, the home has served as a beacon in this small community. It was built by General Thomas Mandeville in 1796 and remains one of the oldest buildings in the state. Its grand facade welcomes visitors to a world of elegance and tradition. But behind these brick walls lies a story that chills the bones. It's a place where ghosts linger, where the shadows dance with sorrow, and where every room holds a secret waiting to be unearthed. In 1823, William Winter arrived at the plantation. He had married the daughter of the original owner, and now he and his wife inherited the lives of the people living on the land. With them, they brought wealth and power, which led to further expansion of the plantation. They added on a two-story Greek revivalist wing that consisted of 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. After William passed away, his widow continued to live here until her own death in 1847. It was during this time that many of the dark tales associated with the property began. In the early days of the plantation, there was a cook named Chloe. She wasn't just any cook. She was the cook for the mistress of the plantation. Her name was Madame Delphine McHenry. And Delphine wasn't just any woman, she was the wife of William Winter's son. Now, Chloe had a crush on the young master of the plantation. She thought he was as sweet as the pralines she made and as handsome as a summer day. But he didn't feel the same way about her, and that hurt her deeply. Chloe loved baking. She could turn flour and sugar into magic, creating cakes and pies so delicious they would make your taste buds sing. But her specialty was a praline pie. It was a recipe passed down from her grandmother, a Gullah Geechee woman who knew the secrets of herbs and spices. The pie was a hit at every social gathering, and everyone wanted Chloe to bake it for their party. Little did they know that beneath the flaky crust and sugary filling, she was adding a special ingredient, one that would bring both joy and destruction. Now, you see, the young master was getting married to a woman from a wealthy family, a woman who wouldn't appreciate the simple joys of life, a woman who wouldn't understand the magic in Chloe's praline pie. And so Chloe decided to take matters into her own hands. She baked a pie filled with a special ingredient that would ensure the young master would never marry another. She snuck the pie into the oven where the young mistress would surely eat it, and then she waited. The wedding day arrived, and the young mistress did indeed eat a slice of Chloe's praline pie. At first, nothing happened. Everyone danced and celebrated. But later that night, the young mistress felt a terrible pain in her stomach. She screamed in agony as her body twisted and turned against her. By morning, she was dead, and with her, the hopes of the young master for a happy marriage. Grief-stricken and guilt-ridden, Chloe confessed her crime and begged for forgiveness. But there was no forgiveness to be had. She was sentenced to death by hanging. And on the same spot where the young mistress had stood, Chloe was hanged. Her body swayed in the breeze, a warning to all who dared defy their masters. And her spirit, they say, still haunts the plantation, forever searching for peace. As years passed, the stories of Chloe's chilling crime and tragic end became part of the plantation's lore. Visitors and locals alike would tell tales of her ghost, seen in the flickering candlelight, forever seeking redemption for her deadly sin. Then there is the story of the ghost children. Imagine sitting in a room, the air thick with anticipation, when suddenly you hear the sound of children's laughter echoing through the halls. You turn to your companion, a shared look of confusion and curiosity on your faces. Could it be the wind playing tricks on your ears or something more sinister lurking in the shadows? One evening, a guest staying in the green room on the second floor heard the sound of little feet pattering up the stairs. Then they saw the apparition of 3 children running full speed down the hallway before vanishing into thin air. These ghostly encounters are not merely tales spun to scare an evening away. They are chilling accounts shared by numerous guests who have stayed in the very rooms where these events transpired. The ghost children are not the only specters that roam the halls of the Myrtles. Many guests and staff members have reported seeing a translucent woman standing at the foot of the bed in the pink room. She is always dressed in old-fashioned clothing and appears to be stuck between the physical world and the spirit realm. Some say she is the ghost of a young girl who died on the plantation many years ago. Others believe she is the spirit of one of the former owners, forever searching for peace. There are even reports of ghostly handprints that appear on mirrors throughout the house, only to vanish without a trace when one goes to clean them. These eerie apparitions are not merely figments of the imagination. They are tangible experiences that have been documented by those who have had the courage to spend a night in the haunted halls of the Myrtles Plantation. But the plantation's history is not limited to the supernatural. It's also a place where tragedy struck unexpectedly. Take, for instance, the tale of the ghost room. It's a room filled with antique furniture and shrouded in an air of mystery. According to legend, anyone who spends the night in this room does so at their own risk. Why, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Years ago, a young couple decided to spend a night in the ghost room. They were seasoned paranormal investigators, eager to test their mettle against the spirits that were rumored to inhabit the plantation. But they had no idea what they were up against. As the night wore on, the temperature in the room began to drop. Then they heard the sound of footsteps in the attic above them. Just as they were about to investigate, they felt a cold hand grip the woman's shoulder. Startled, she turned to find an apparition of an emaciated old woman standing over her. The couple froze in terror as the ghost reached out a finger and traced a path along the wall. Then, just as suddenly as she appeared, she vanished. But the horrors didn't end there. The couple soon realized that they were not alone in the room. A male ghost then began shaking the bed, his presence growing stronger by the second. Unable to bear the terrifying ordeal any longer, the man ran from the room, leaving his girlfriend behind. When he called out to her, there was no reply. He raced back to the room to find her kneeling on the bed in a state of deep distress. She was shaking uncontrollably and whispered that she had seen the ghost of a man dragging himself closer and closer. When they finally managed to escape the room, they recounted their harrowing experience to the plantation staff. What they learned was chilling. The ghost they had encountered was that of a former slave who had been brutally murdered in the very same room. His killer, a member of the plantation's family, had chopped him to pieces and thrown his body down a well. As the years passed, the plantation changed hands several times, but the dark secret buried beneath its soil remained. That was until one fateful day when a new owner decided to excavate the well. What they found was a skeleton wearing shackles, confirming the horrific tale and giving a face to the nameless victim. And this is just one of the many tragedies that have unfolded within the walls of the Myrtles. From sudden deaths to illness and violence, the plantation's history is marred by a series of unfortunate events that have left their mark on the property. Today, the Myrtles Plantation stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of tragedy. It's a place where families have gathered to create lasting memories, but also where lives have been cut short and spirits have been left restless. The plantation's legacy is a reminder that even in the most beautiful of places, darkness can lurk around every corner. Would you dare spend a night in one of America's most haunted homes? You've been listening to Midnight Tales. If you believe the restless spirits of the Myrtles Plantation still walk its halls, share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more true horror, hauntings, and unsolved mysteries. Until next time, remember, beautiful places often hide the darkest secrets.